Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Diane and my passion is painting and creating nature-inspired watercolours in my studio, which are easy for you to do too. I share all my paintings with you on YouTube, and on our website dianeantone.com you can find free downloadable sketches for all the videos to help you make the most of your painting journey. And if you'd like a little bit more, we also have channel memberships with loads of perks for you to enjoy. So welcome on board. Click subscribe and turn on notifications, and let's learn to paint watercolour. Hi everyone, Diane here. Welcome to my studio. Hope everyone's well and happy and enjoying their painting journey. I'm going to have a scribble today and see if I can paint some kind of flowery thing. And I often like to start at the bottom of the page when I'm doing a sketch. And I don't know why really, but sometimes it just feels easier to start from the bottom and work up. And I'm thinking of I've got an image here that I'm using to give me the idea of a lupin. And so I'm going to try and paint a lupin here on the side. They have sort of upside down heart-shaped flowers on little short stems, so something like this. And obviously as you go down they get kind of bigger, and this is going to be very loose because loose is me, loosey-goosey or whatever. I'm drawing with a watercolor pencil. This is a Staedtler Karat Aquarelle watercolor pencil, and this will run a little bit, but it doesn't matter. That's what I want, and I don't know if I'm going to put some ink on this at the end. I might, in which case the pencil will become irrelevant, but if I don't, then the pencil might be quite important. Now, lupins have long, thinnish legs. They don't have legs at all, do they? Leaves, sort of nice swirly shapes like that. So we'll just pop in some of those. And maybe we'll put another one towards the back there. And they sort of come from one point, don't they? So like that. I don't know if we want another one down there. I don't think so. Maybe put one in the background later. And then this image that I'm working from has got, next to the lupin, it has a sort of daisy kind of thing. I've forgotten what these are called. I should know. I don't remember, but it's got a sort of, the picture that I'm looking at has got sort of quite a big head like that. So just take those away there. So there's a daisy, and maybe I'm trying to go away from the idea of everything having to be a rose. So we'll put another lupin in here. I used to love lupins when I was one of my earliest memories, and I know you'll all have earliest memories of flowers for yourselves, but my earliest memory of anything floral is when I can't have been more than 2 years old. I know what house we were living in, so I know how old I was when we left there. Can't be more than 2 years old, walking through the garden and experiencing the lupins being taller than me. So I must have been quite young, mustn't I? Because lupins aren't that big. So there we are, and maybe we'll just have the hint of another daisy in the background here. Okay, so far so good. That's 5 minutes in. Now let's grab a fairly big brush. This is a number 14, draw well. And I'm going to use my Gallo paints, and I've got a border of washi tape around the outside of this paper, and I'm just going to come in with a brush fairly boldly and do a background roughly. And so we'll start with the periwinkle blue, and as we go across we'll just add a tiny bit of warmth to it with a little bit of red. Blend that in a little bit. And so we just want an uneven wash for the background. It doesn't have to be exact at all. So just kind of bring it into the flower. The flower's going to go over that, just like it would in real life, really. And then if we just grey it down a little bit, not perhaps quite that much, as we come down and have a nice mix of blue and green there. That the green I picked up there was orange, actually. Added orange to a periwinkle and we get quite a nice, almost a granulating sort of effect there. So we're just painting around the flowers. Lots of water. Do the whole background. I'm standing up for this because you need a reasonable amount of sort of elbow room to paint loosely. Now I'm just going to, excuse my dry throat, just need some space there to right, now I need a slightly smaller brush, I think, and let's go for a pinkish red. That's almost dry. Right at the top, you're going to have a little bit of greenish yellow. Try that again. A yellowish green. Let's call it yellowish green. There we go, that's better. I've used fig green there. And then we're going to bring in some dots for the flowers. And we'll keep them darker on one side and lighter on the other side. So the light's coming from this direction, perhaps. And then we're going to pick up some bluish grey and pop in the stem, going all the way down. And then the first layer for the leaves. We'll let that dry. And then this, I will remember the name of this thing in a minute. But I haven't yet. So we could just drop in a little bit of blue for the shadow on the petals, and then in a second, when that's a little bit dry, I'll add to that. And then let's do the stem in a sort of orangey green. And then the leaves. Keep the green a little bit on the muted side, a little bit blue. And another one of these flowers over here, just really loose. A little tiny touch of blue for the petals. And then we're going to come back to the other lupin. I'll start off with this fig green, and then pink, there we are. Okay, and I did say that we would pick up a little bit of the orange just to give a bit of warmth up here, reflected onto the flowers, and perhaps darken that a little. A few more dots of red down here, slightly different red. And pop some yellow and blue into the stem. Okay, so we've got that far, and I think the thing to do now is probably to wait for it to dry, and then I will take a photocopy of it, try out the two options going forward. We can either do line, so make it a line and wash, or three options, or we could do pencil work, or we could just come in and do more brush work, so paint it up to another level. So we'll see. I like using line. I always feel it adds a lot to the painting, and I don't have the patience to do fine detail with a brush. I prefer the detail to be pen. I don't know quite why, but I think that's probably what I will opt for. So we'll see. I'll dry that off and we'll come back. Okay, so I've done a photocopy of this, and I've just sort of started to play a little bit with lines, and I'm thinking that looking at it, I can see from looking at the photocopy, I actually quite like the painting so far. I've taken off the, the washi tape. And I think what I'm going to do, actually, before I do anything else, is probably add a little bit of dark red to the backs of some of these little flowers, just just some hints of darker red, a few of them, not too much. Just a little bit. I don't want to spoil it. Of course, you always have to remember that whatever you put is going to come out lighter because when it dries. So you don't need to worry too much about it seeming a bit too dark. Chances are it'll probably be okay once it's dry. And similarly for the leaves down here, we might want to just put a few strokes in behind there a little bit, not too much, because I think quite like the fact that this has come out really quite what they call high key. It means without too much shadow on it, so very basically delicate. And I'm not normally a delicate kind of person. That's not what I'm accused of being normally. Yeah, and it's very easy to sort of spoil things by adding colours and things and thinking, oh, that would be better. But it isn't, so we won't do that. We'll just darken down a tiny bit in here, just a few dots for that side, because we have definitely got the shadow on that side of the plant. And we'll just put a few, again, of these darker bits in here. And maybe one or two, really just not much at all up there. I might make the other flower a little bit darker. And what next? I think probably I don't really want to do very much more to it. A little bit of stem in this one. I don't think I did that before. If I did, it ran into it, so you couldn't see it. Maybe a little bit of green here. A little bit more green in the background, perhaps. And we could, I suppose, have one or two. I think spatter is probably going out of fashion these days. So don't want to do too much of that, do we? So we are. And you could, I guess, use the pencil to just sharpen up one or two of the lines if you wanted to. It would give you an opportunity to put in some veins and things like that. I don't want to rub it with my hand. I don't think I'll do anything with the flowers because they're delicate enough and they've got enough pencil lines on them already. Maybe just a little bit down here with the stalk. So it's surprising actually how just tiny, tiny little marks can make a big difference. Okay. So there we are, one quick, very, very loose, very, very impressionistic painting of some lupins and a couple of cone flowers for you to have a go at. If you've got 10 minutes, you can do this. The idea of taking a photocopy and trying out line work on it is a really good one, and you might find that you enjoy that. Also, it'll sometimes point out to you little things like, I noticed on the photocopy the tonality was a bit weak here, so it prompted me to come in on the actual painting and put some more darks in. So that can be a really helpful little trick. So if you enjoyed that, give us a like and subscribe. Don't forget about membership of the channel and Patreon. And I'll let you go now. Have a lovely evening, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.